Welcome to the making of the world's heaviest float. Brought to you by Hertz, Journey On, California Pizza Kitchen, and Natural Balance Pet Foods, the food for a lifetime. Featuring Dick Van Patten, Jimmy Van Patten, Baseball MVP Steve Garvey, Hall of Fame manager Tommy Lasorda, and Tillman with his Natural Balance team of dogs.
He snowboards, he skates, he surfs.
One of the most famous dogs around. He has 20 million hits on YouTube.
Tillman has a lot of things most dogs don't have, like his own bus, his own assistant, and millions of fans.
He's the most famous dog in the world. Everybody wants Tillman's autograph.
2010 was a great year for Tillman and his friends. We started off with the world's longest float in Rose Parade history.
Well, it's 113 feet 10 inches, don't forget. A world record, Guinness record.
It's featuring Tillman and friends. These are the snowboarding bulldogs.
Followed that up with a trip up to Vancouver for the Winter Olympics.
And the dogs hit the snow.
Then from there we went to New York, skated Times Square. He skated in the New York Public Library.
We did Bark in the Park for the New York Mets, the Texas Rangers, the San Francisco Giants.
And the Dodgers. Come on, Tillman. And Tillman even got to skateboard at Dodger Stadium with Steve Garvey.
He and his Bulldog buddies just traveled the country this year, making a lot of people smile.
Now, Tillman and friends are returning home to skimboard on the world's heaviest float.
Ron, we need him to ride the board, not keep the board.
Go behind the scenes with the builders of the Guinness World Record heaviest float ever.
It's going to weigh in somewhere around 65,000, 70,000 pounds.
We've added a second story to the float. And on the second story, we've got dogs dock diving into a pool of water. And then on the bottom level, we've got dogs skimboarding on the beach.
Watch as our team overcomes enormous challenges as they struggle to meet an impossible deadline and construct the most complex float ever built.
Even though we're behind schedule, this is going to be the most exciting float in parade history.
I just hope we can pull it off.
Our president here at Natural Balance, Joey Herrick, he comes up with some amazing ideas.
Joey said, look, I got this idea. I think we should have a float in the Rose Parade and have Tillman skating around it.
Look at that! There he goes!
And he pulled it off, and it was amazing.
And remember last year? Remember Tillman's skateboarding dog? He's brought some friends, and they're going to go snowboarding.
Isn't it adorable?
It was such an exciting float. Everybody just fell in love with the personalities of these incredible little guys and what they could do.
It is the world's longest single unit float at 111 feet in length.
Last January 1st, when we set the record for the world's longest float, I told people in our office, I don't know how we're going to top this. Last year's float was really something very, very special. But I got this idea, and here we are again, and you know what? We are going to top last year. This year, we are going for the world's heaviest float. Whoa. Wow. The average float is about 25,000 pounds. We think this will be somewhere between 70,000 and 80,000 pounds. And so what's happening here is this is actually a 30-foot swimming pool, and these are going to be dock dogs, and these are going to be Henry, Sydney, and Stanley. These dogs are going to join our little cast of characters here, and they're going to be flying through the air doing what they do. Down here is where the bulldogs are, and they're going to be skimboarding. So you're going to have to see, he likes that.
After last year's float, it was such a huge success. We had to come back this year with something more, and I think we did. This is crazy what we're attempting to do. It's unbelievable.
It's going to be awesome. And everyone I talk to, they say, what is Natural Balance doing? And it's just so exciting to say, just wait and see.
Well, the design's great. It's going to be beautiful and fun.
We're going to take things to a whole nother level. We've got a 2-ring circus this year, so there's a lot of considerations in pulling this thing off.
Tim Estes at Fiesta has to build this thing, and it's not always easy to build what's in my head. Is this one of your most challenging floats?
Yeah, this is pretty bad, Joey. You'll probably be having somewhere around 34,000 pounds of water, so I got 17 tons of water pretty much here in the center of the chassis.
And he's got 17 tons of water he's got to keep in a box that goes up and down hills.
What I have to worry about when this float goes down, it's going on the street, is the hill, we have to go down 12 degrees. That water's got to transfer somewhere.
It's not all flat and pretty. Man, there's some sections like that. It's a bumpy ride. I'm gonna have my rain gear on, because if that baby goes, everybody's gonna be getting wet.
We've got the Titanic going down the street.
Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night going, oh my God, what did we get ourselves into? Are we gonna be able to pull this off? I'm driving Tim Estes nuts. I said to Tim, could you add another 5 feet to the pool? Make it more exciting. And that's when I got the Tim Estes stair.
My son Jimmy is really involved in the float construction this year. And I understand it's because of something I made him do as a kid.
Dad, I gotta thank you. Remember that movie you made me do when I was a kid that I didn't want to do? Well, I learned how to weld. It's really coming in handy. Thanks, Dad.
Boy, Jimmy, you better do a good job. We have to ride on that thing.
Stay tuned to witness the 2nd annual Natural Balance Dog Auditions, when over 150 dogs take a plunge at starring on this year's World's Heaviest Float.
These are my 3 amazing dogs, Sully, Tillman, and Rose. My best friends. I love you too. Well, what we have here is a replica of our parade float. Fiesta built it, delivered it, set it up, and now we got a place for our bulldogs to start shredding.
Hey, Sully. Hey, no, that's a new board. Rose, no.
She's got a desire to have a board in her mouth rather than ride it. No chew. You chew, you're getting a timeout, okay? Up.
Oh, you guys are killing me.
Tell me, you want to ride your board out here but not in there? You're killing me, mate. Buddy, come on, don't chew on that. It's not food.
Ron, we need him to ride the board, not keep the board.
I'm trying to break the news to him best I can.
Has he done it at all, or just keeps doing that?
No, he's batting about 3 out of 100.
Well, we have Tillman who's chasing the board. We have Sully who's eating the board. How's Rose?
Rose is kind of a mixture of both of them.
So we have basically 5 weeks to go, and we have 3 bulldogs that won't skimboard.
4, you forgot Lyle.
So this is Lyle. He's one of the friends in Tillman and Friends. Lyle's pretty much a real-life stuffed animal. Hold on, little cowboy. Lyle has a 3 to 5 second delay in life, so all the lessons just take a little bit longer. He skateboards, snowboards, and he's in training for skimboarding. See, they want to push because it's like the skateboard, so we have to kind of break them on pushing. No pushing, no chewing. You can do it. Don't push it with your nose. That's like taking 10 steps backwards. Sit. But you gotta just jump onto it right away. Hop right on. Be free.
It's time to check in with my son Jimmy out at Fiesta Floats to see how he's doing.
Oh, hey, Dad. I'm very busy here. I'm trying to smooth out the metal so the swimming pool can sit on this float and not fall off. It's very important, Dad, so I'm a little busy right now. I gotta get back to work. I'll talk to you in a bit, huh?
Okay, Jimmy. Boy, I sure hope he knows what he's doing. How in the world did he learn to do that? He must have learned it from his mother's side of the family.
Natural Balance held an open audition, and over 150 dogs showed up with their owners to try their luck.
Well, it's audition day. This is, we need to find 2 more skimboarding bulldogs and 2 more dock diving dogs.
Not every dog was so sure that jumping off a dock into the pool was a good idea. Some didn't even want to touch the water. And others took a moment on the edge to decide whether or not they should finally take the plunge. Other auditioners just naturally took to the water.
I met Joey Herrick February this year with a phone conversation. He had phoned me to find out if it's possible we can do a float with dock dogs on it.
Dock diving and any dog sport, as far as that goes, it's a great opportunity to bond with your dog, to get your dog socialized, to have a great time on the weekends, and you meet some fabulous people. We're looking at not only the dogs and their ability, but we're also looking at the handlers handling the dogs and how they're going to be able to participate on the float.
My name is Stephanie Malone. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is my 2-year-old Border Collie Juice. Drove all the way down here to try to make it on the Rose Parade float.
Our trainers and officials did the judging at the auditions, looking for some new star dogs for this year's float.
That was great.
Give one more.
A dog named Porter, who came all the way from Canada, was a natural.
Luigi is here to try for the skimboard competition. Similar to a skateboard, so he'll hop on the board and probably try to eat it and see how long he slides on.
The amazing Luigi. Not every dog is cut out for skimboarding either. Some dogs just rather watch the trainers do all the work. Others, like auditioner Hollywood, just jump on the board and go.
I can't believe how many dogs you got out here. It's incredible.
No, it's great. Well, there's probably 150 dogs came out to try out, and we've actually found some great dogs already.
I mean, it's going to be a tough selection on getting it down to the pews. So.
It is. Do you see the little dachshund that jumped off the dock?
Yeah, that was cute. Now,
that was
the
cute.
Little Jack Russell skimboarding. And,
yeah.
I mean, it's happening everywhere around here. So.
The audition day was a lot of fun for the dogs and the owners. We really had our work cut out for us as we prepared for the callbacks to name the dogs that will be on the float January 1st.
Lyle got some new friends today. I think he's excited to go play with them. Oh, no? I think he's excited to take a nap.
Stay with us as the Natural Balance team of dogs are in for a major surprise when a Hall of Famer shows up to get them ready to perform on the world's heaviest float. So whenever we face the challenge here at Natural Balance when our dogs are not performing up to standards, we find a creative solution.
Yesterday she was riding great. Today she doesn't get on it.
Well, she always has fun. Some days she rides great, and other days she's just not that motivated.
Well, we need to get her motivated, all the dogs. We have 5 weeks left, and then we're in the parade. So you need to figure something out.
After Joey told Ron what was needed, he made the call.
I know a great motivator. I'll give you a call later, and we'll come see you tomorrow.
A quick call to Natural Balance's Vice President of Sports Marketing, former Major League MVP Steve Garvey, led him to call on the man that inspired him and the Dodgers, all the way to several World Series titles.
Okay, the time has come.
You guys want to be a champion? Are you going to fail when we put you on that float in January? The whole world's going to be watching you. You better be ready. You got it, boys. You got it. This is the 7th game of the World Series. This is the NFL Championship Super Bowl. And you guys are going to be there, and you're going to do the job. You're going to make people happy. Lyle, as fat as you are, you're a disgrace to bulldogs. All the bulldogs in this country's going to be watching you. And there's old Fatty wobbling around. Do some exercise. Do some running. Luigi knows what to do. Luigi don't give you any problem. He's an Italian dog. Luigi, you eat Natural Balance, and you're going to be the top bulldogs in the world. Not just in America, but in the world. You can do it. All you got to do is believe that you can do it. And if you don't like it, come and see me in my office.
No one wants to make that trip to Tommy's office, not even a dog. So right after Tommy's inspirational speech, Lyle took it all to heart and started to do some road work. Lyle even invited Tommy to that afternoon's training session, where Luigi continued to impress.
That a way to go, Luigi!
Tommy's inspirational words got Lyle so excited that while waiting for his chance on the track, he tried to break down the door. But then when Lyle got on the track, he really showed some effort for his new coach, Tommy.
Boy, see what they're doing? They're performing to their best.
All that said, Tommy still had a soft spot for Luigi. He honored Luigi's great practice runs with a song in tribute to his hard work.
Oh, Luigi, oh, Luigi, quando sono ci penso per te, fammi dormire, oh, Luigi. Hey, take it easy, Luigi. You're in good arms here, Luigi.
We're gonna have to keep the dogs somewhat dry so they don't catch cold.
Well, we're actually two things. One, I think we'll have Speedos, warm jackets for the dogs to perform in.
I thought it was so funny. Joey's like, we have to put Speedos on the bulldogs. I'm like, yeah, I think you mean wetsuits.
Then the Body Glove team came in to help out.
Thank you so much for coming in. We have 12 dogs this year, 12 handlers, and a lot of people. Well, with filling that float up with water from a fire hydrant at midnight.
It would be a perfect fit with Body Glove Pet to get on there. We'd love to help outfit your whole team.
So you've been outfitting Tillman for a few years then, right?
Yes.
Body Glove went right to work and got all the dogs into jackets.
You like the fin.
See, he's hooked.
Oh, there you go.
He'll jump off that dock right now for that toy.
Well, that's yours. Stanley, you can have it.
After the Natural Balance dog team was outfitted, it was time to meet the new dogs that had made the cut from the original audition.
Today is the day that we pick 6 more dogs. So that's our job today. All right, so let's start. Hello, everybody. So today we can actually focus a little better, look at the dogs, and also very important for all your dogs to get along. Because when you're on a Rose Parade float, it's very close quarters, and you can't have dogs growling at each other. It's not good. Quinn, would you and Bubbles like to go first, or would you like to go last? You want to start us off? Okay, so let's start. So let's see Quinn. You can go on up. That's terrific. Hey, I'm already sold on Quinn. Quinn is so cute. The dog is so great.
Then it was Oliver's turn to jump.
Yeah.
If you watch Oliver's jump again in slow motion and concentrate on the right side of your screen, you'll see the ultimate judge, Tillman, who was watching and showing his approval of Oliver's latest jump.
What do you want to take another look at?
Let's take another look at Dakota, Oliver, and Sammy Jane.
Okay.
In those next trial jumps by Oliver, Dakota, and Sammy Jane, only one dog made the final cut. Sammy Jane.
People ask us why we do these auditions. Well, one, we're looking for dogs that can do the job and an interesting story. And we found the most interesting story this year. It's a 7-year-old kid named Quinn and his dog Bubbles. They are just such a cute pair. The dog is a very good dock jumper, and the way this little kid Quinn handles this dog, it's just terrific. And the great thing is, January 1st is Quinn's birthday.
It's my parade because it's my birthday, and I'll be 8.
He will never ever, his entire life, he will be showing his kids pictures of this. He will never ever forget his 8th birthday.
Stay with us as the drama builds and we see if the world's heaviest float will be ready for the Rose Parade January 1st. It has taken more than 11 months to build the world's heaviest float. Now, Fiesta Parade floats and Natural Balance are preparing to take the 35-ton float on a test drive in front of the Rose Parade officials.
Well, right now the float is pretty much about 90% constructed, all the rough construction. We have a few other things to add on the float here and there, and then we'll be able to start going into the final art department blur and also spray urethane foam on the base of the float for the flowers.
Today we're here for the first time seeing the live float. You have an idea of it in your mind, and then you see the real thing, and it's 100 times more impressive.
It's just going to be like a giant circus. I mean, it's crazy. There's going to be something going on everywhere you go.
This is really unbelievable. We have a float of this size, a very large pool.
They're filling it with water, and we're putting it through the heater, so the water's going to be nice and warm for the dogs.
Is it going to actually be able to drive down the road and the water stay in? And we're going to find out this morning.
This is the first time I've been on the float with my dog bubbles. Look, the water!
We're going to have dogs dock diving. We're going to also have the dogs on the front of the float skimboarding. So this is our first time to actually train on the float with water.
Lyle really wants to get on that float skimboarding. I'm so excited to see Lyle on the float for the first time. He is beyond jazzed up. He's a complete spaz. Oh, buddy, be careful. Okay, let's just relax now. Sit that booty down, down, down. Sit that booty down, down, down. Sit. You're gonna get to go so soon, bud.
Lyle wasn't the only dog who couldn't wait to hit the ramp.
His passion for riding boards, I mean, it's never ending. He just wants to do it all day long. The amount of water, the amount of metal, the amount of tires, and the amount of dogs and people that are on this thing, nobody's even come close to trying something like it. Let's see what happens when it rolls.
Tim's a little stressed right now.
We made it about half a block, and we have some major problems.
And 35,000 pounds of water had to be drained that we all had to get off. And what happened, the wheels, as casters, and it crushed it. They collapsed, and then the tires couldn't get traction. The driver who drives underneath everything, the pool was leaking on him, so he was soaked. So there's a lot of issues this year because of the weight in the water.
We have to figure out a way to move 35,000 pounds of water for 4.5 hours.
Tim Estes and Fiesta Parade floats are the best float builders in the world, and I've given them some very tough challenges over the years. I just hope this year I haven't gone too far and given them something that's impossible to do.
Can the team solve the problems in time to ride the world's heaviest float in the 2011 Rose Parade? Tune in on January 1st to find out.
If we fail that day, over 80 million people are going to see us choke.
I don't want to be on Colorado Boulevard draining the float.
Promotional consideration, products, and some funding provided by Natural Balance Pet Foods, Hertz Entertainment Services, NetJets, Mama Lucia, Steakums, California Pizza Kitchen, Body Glove, Raypack. The preceding program was sponsored by Natural Balance Pet Foods. This is David Jeremiah for Natural Balance Pet Foods. See you next year.